Okay, so let's start now with Python. Python is a programming language that we are going to use for developing the programs for AI and ML. Now, Python is a programming language and it is one of the most popular programming language. Python has a simple syntax similar to the English language. Python has a syntax that allows developers to write programs with least possible number of lines, as against some other programming languages. Now there are so many programming languages which are there, but Python is very efficient. Python is a general purpose, interpreted, interactive, object oriented and high level programming language. It was created by this person called Guido van Rossum during 1985 to 90. Like Perl, Python source code is also available under the GNU, that is General Public License. Python is interpreter based. Python is processed at runtime by the interpreter. So you can have the interpreter write your programs and you can keep on testing, keep on running and testing, and then if required you can modify that. You do not need to compile your program before execution like in other programming languages where you need to compile your program first and then only you can execute. In case of Python, it is not required. So that is why it is known as interpreter based. This is similar to Perl and PHP. Python is an interactive. You can actually sit at a Python prompt and interact with the interpreter directly to write your programs. It is object oriented. The Python supports object oriented style or technique of programming that encapsulates code within objects. It is a beginner's language. That means anybody who doesn't have any background of programming language, even he can start learning the Python language. It's a great language for the beginners level programmers and supports the development of a wide range of applications from simple text processing to browsers or to games. Some features about Python: very easy to learn. Python has a few keywords, simple structure and a clearly defined syntax. This allows the student to pick up the language very quickly. Easy to read also. In case there is a program comes to you which is already written by somebody, you can easily understand. Python code is very clearly defined and visible to the eyes. Easy to maintain also. You can maintain in case you are required to maintain, maybe making some changes etc. in your program, you can do that. So Python source code is fairly easy to maintain also. A broad standard library. Now we will learn also about that. It has a huge repository of libraries which is very helpful when you are writing your program. It's a bulk of the library and it is portable across the platform. Whether it is your Windows or Unix or Ubuntu or any other platform that you have, you can take your program to that and run there. It is interactive. Python has support for an interactive mode which allows interactive testing and debugging of snippets of codes. It is portable. You can write on one platform, take it to the other platform, hardware platform, and then you can run it there. So again, it is very flexible. It is extendable. You can add low-level modules to the Python interpreter. These modules enable programmers to add or customize their tools to be more efficient. So the efficiency you can improve also with all these tools available or modules available. Databases. Python provides interfaces to almost all the databases that are available. It has facility of GUI programming. That is, Python supports GUI application that can be created and ported to many system calls. Libraries and Windows systems such as Windows MFC, Macintosh and X window systems of Unix. It is scalable. Python provides a better structure and supports for large programs than shell scripting. Python can be obtained from the Python Software Foundation. Now this is a place where you can get your Python if you want to download and start working on that. The website name is the python.org. Go to Google, enter download Python, click on download 3.7.5. This is the latest one, but you can download any Python version that you want. Maybe the next version may also be available now. So download Python 3.7.5 and you can start downloading and installing it. And then you can save it on your desktop or maybe a folder or wherever you want. Now this is the screen that you will get. Now in this screen you can see that the download the latest version of Windows. Here it is mentioned as 3.7.2, but now the 3.7.5 is also available, and you can always check which is the latest. You must also see that whatever language that you are going to use must be workable, because there are so many versions available. Now to install Python 3, download and run the installer. On the first screen, enable the add Python 3.7.5 to path, and that is something which is very important. We'll discuss more about it, and this helps to have your installation completed, and then you can start working on that. Be sure to check the box that says add Python 3.x to path as shown to ensure that the interpreter will be placed in your path so that you can execute whatever programs you. If you do not click on that, then you may have problem, because then every time you have to go to that particular folder and then only you can run. So it is always advisable that you must check that particular box where it is add to Python is mentioned. Then just click install now, and then you will see that Python gets installed. You will see this kind of a screen, and where you can run it by clicking on run command, and then the installation will this screen will come next, and then you can see at the bottom that add Python 3.7 to path. Now this particular box must be clicked. So click in this box to select that Python is to be added to the path. And this again is the next screen where you are going to click the install now. Already you can click on this add Python 3.7 to path, and then the installation will start. Next you will see this kind of a screen where the setup will be in progress, and after waiting for some time, you can see that the setup may be either in the progress or it may get completed. And once it gets completed, you will see this kind of a screen that is setup was successful, and now you can close it. So this means that Python has been installed on your computer successfully. Now to check that whether Python has been installed properly and completely or not, you will go to the command prompt, check the Python, and you will see that this kind of a response will be there. You can write a small program, a one-line program, that is print hello world, and you will get this kind of a response from the system. This means that your system has Python installed. You can also check it in a different way, that is Python 3.7 shell, and there again you can write the same command, that is print hello world, and you will get the response as hello world. So this means that the Python has been installed and working satisfactorily. Now some identifiers of Python is a name used to identify a variable, function, class, module or other objects. An identifier starts with a letter A to Z, capital A to Z, or maybe small character A to Z, or maybe with an underscore followed by 0 or more letters, underscores and digits, etc. So whatever way you want to give your identifiers, you can use this. Python does not allow punctuation, characters such as @ sign or $sign or %sign or any other such special character. Python is a case-sensitive programming language. Thus, manpower, which is starting with the capital M, and the manpower, which is starting with the small character m, are two different identifiers. Here, the naming conventions for Python identifiers are explained. That is, class names start with an uppercase letter. All other identifiers start with the lowercase. Starting an identifier with a single leading underscore indicate that the identifier is private. Now, starting an identifier with a two leading underscores indicates a strong private identifier is there. And if the identifier also ends with the two trailing underscore, the identifier is a language defined special name. So you must keep this in mind whenever you are defining your identifier, how to write your characters, so that you should not have any problem while writing your program. Now, like in every language, you will find that there are some reserved words which you cannot use, which you are not supposed to use in your programming. Now these keywords are reserved words and you cannot use them as constant or a variable or any other identifier. All the Python keywords contain lowercase letters. That is something you will always see. So these are some of the names which are there, and you can see that the comments that you want to write. Now very commonly you will see that sometimes you need to write the comments, which is also helpful for your documentation, program documentation, or any other type of documentation that you want to write in your program. So you can use the hash sign. A hash sign that is not inside a string literal begins a comment. That means now you are going to write a comment or a remark which will not be taken for any processing purposes, but definitely it helps for the user to understand the logic of the program. All characters after the hash and up to the end of the physical line are part of the comments, and the Python interpreter simply ignores them. Like for example, the first comment starting with the hash sign, print hello. Again, this is a command that you have given, and again you are writing a command, remark, that is, this will print hello world. So this is how you can write your comments or remarks. Triple quoted strings as shown below also gets ignored by Python interpreter and can be used as a multi-line comment. Now sometimes you want to write a longer comment or a longer remark. Now there maybe the single hash may not be sufficient for you, and the provision is there that you can use triple quotes. Now it starts with a triple quote and ends also with the triple quote. So that means it signifies that there is a multiple lines comment. Now this is very, very useful when you are trying to again make your program understandable. It may be you are using for yourself, or maybe somebody else wants to understand your program. So this comment section becomes very, very helpful for understanding the program's algorithm. So this is how this programming can be done with the help of the Python. It's very, very useful. We will see more in the next part. This was the first part. So thank you for now, and we are going to start with the second part now.